This is the formula to make that happen. This is my formula for making it happen. It's called my 5 ways to multiply business profits. This is in my first book, Instant Cash Flow, and also in my book, The Business Coach. I'll read the formula out so those down the back can write it down. Leads times conversion. So leads, like prospects, potential customers, times conversion, your conversion rate, the number that become customers, equals your customers here in red. Customers then multiplied by number of transactions, your repeat business. Customers by number of transactions then multiplied by average sale. Customers by transactions by average sale equals revenues for the business. It's total sales, turnover, whatever way you want to put it. Revenues here in red is then multiplied by margins, your profit margin, the percentage of each sale that's profit, to give you your take-home profitability of the business. So, call it out for me, everyone, to make sure you got it written down correct. Number 1 thing up there is what? Leads. Come on, everybody. Leads multiplied by? Equals? Everyone again. Number of? Multiplied by? Equals? Revenues is then multiplied by what? To give you your... Now, I got 3 of them written in red. Which of the 3? Call them out. Number 1? Number 2? Number 3? Why are they written in big, bold, red writing? Most important? No. In fact, if you want to use the word important, these are the 3 least important numbers on the page. What's the mathematical sign in front of all 3 of them? Equals. They are the result of the other 5 numbers. So why is it every business owner only measures how many customers, their revenues, or their profits? The 5 most important numbers in a business is how many leads did you get, what was your conversion rate, what's your average sale, your transactions, average sale, and margins. Remember that thing called leverage, divide to multiply? You divide it up, you multiply the end result. In fact, let me put some numbers in to give you an idea of what this looks like. When I work with a business and we go through and we do this sort of stuff, first thing we need to do is learn these numbers in your business. So let's pretend we know the numbers and use a small business as an example. Let's pretend we had a business that had, say, 4,000 potential customers last year. They called you, you called them, they came into your shop, whatever way you do business. Let's pretend you sold 25% of them, 1 in 4 of them to become a customer. So you had, in this case, 1,000 customers. That makes sense so far? Okay? Then we look at number of transactions. Let's pretend on average they came back twice. So some bought once, some bought 100 times, but on average there was 2 sales per customer. Average revenue, let's make it 100 pounds per customer. So that gives us a revenue in this little business of 200 grand. Does that make sense to everybody so far? For ease of calculation, I'll give you margins 25%. So that gives us 50 grand in profit. Nice, easy, round numbers. So what we're going to do now is we're going to work on improving how many areas up here? How many areas are we going to improve? 5 areas. We're going to work on them. Now, will we work on all 5 at the same time? Yes. You don't go to the gym and do your right arm this month, left arm next month. Okay, we want the synergy of all of this working together. So we're going to work on your lead flow. Now, my coaches, I've taught all of my coaches literally 78 strategies to improve the lead flow in business. The average business is using approximately how many of those strategies would you guess? 2. Average business uses 2 lead generation strategies, and not well in most cases. What's the problem with that? You can't have a growth business with only 2 lead generation strategies. We build you up to get you more. Now, I could grow your business a lot faster than your business can handle the growth for 2 reasons. What are the 2 reasons we have to grow it a little slower than what we could do it? Number 1, cash. Could we grow your business faster than you have cash flow to be able to grow it? Yes or no? Absolutely. Unless you've got a lot of capital, it's hard to grow fast. What's the second reason it takes time to grow it? Staff, people, knowledge, skills. You've got to get the people up to speed to be able to handle the growth. If you're going to double your business, you either have to double your number of staff or double the productivity of the existing staff. Does that take time? Yeah, so normally in a business, we don't aim at doubling or tripling any of these numbers. All we aim to do in the first year is about a 10% improvement in each of the 5 areas. We're not aiming to do massive improvements because it would put you out of business and probably for most of you give you a heart attack. Okay, because you'd have to work 10 times the amount of hours and so on. So, if we look at the number of leads and all we do is fix the ones you're doing right now, if we take your advertising and fix the headline, test it, measure it, do some things, like Alan the baker, or my friend who was an accountant, His advertising was generating 3 leads a week. We got it to 300 leads a week for him. We actually had to reduce his advertising size and do it less often because he could only handle 20 new leads a month. You know, you need to sit down and look at it. Those sorts of things can be done. So all we're aiming to do is a 10% improvement in lead flow. Does that make sense? In fact, how many of you would like to have a 10% improvement in lead flow over the next month? Who'd like to have that? Do you know how you do that? Number 1, referrals. Number 2, test and measure. If you start asking for referrals of every single person you do business with, you don't even have to have a system for it. Just start asking and also do that. But test and measure. You've got to know how many leads you're getting and where they're coming from. I had a gentleman who, this guy ran a tyre business, so he was selling tyres for cars. You went in and got your tyres fitted. He was spending $80,000 a month advertising. $80,000 a month. And I asked him, tell me, what are your test and measure results? Where are all of your leads coming from? What was his answer? I don't know. For 2 weeks, we tested and measured and found out where every time we asked someone on the phone, we said, by the way, where did you hear about us? By the way, where did you find out about us? At the end of that 2 weeks, we found that $60,000 a month was bringing him approximately 10% of his leads. The other $20,000 was bringing him 90% of his leads. Isn't that? If you don't test and measure, you don't know this stuff, you're going to be out of business. So all we need to do is 10% more. So in this case, what's that become now? Everyone call it out for me. 4,000 is now 4,400. So then we're going to work your conversion rate. Again, test and measure is vital in this one. If you don't know your numbers, how many of you actually know your conversion rate of those that call or those that come in versus those that buy? Hands up if you know it. Excellent, great measurement. The rest of you, what have you got? Room for improvement. If you test and measure, I had another gentleman, this guy had an electrical business, electrician. He's getting phone calls, 50 grand a month on advertising. He's getting all these phone calls. I said to him, so tell me, what's your conversion rate? Oh, Brad, we're really good at sales. We sell 6 or 7 out of every 10 people that call. I said, really, 70%? He said, yeah. 2 weeks later, I come back to his office and said, so tell me, what were the test and measure results of your conversion rate? He said, Brad, they weren't good. I said, I know. He said, how do you know that? I said, because whenever you guess at it, I know it's at least half of whatever you guessed. He said, well, Brad, it's not a half, it's a quarter, 17%. How panicked was he at that point in time? He literally wanted to fire all of his salespeople. I said to him, all we've got to do is systemize it. We put in systems for answering the phone. We put in a script for answering the phone. We built a system for it. We took his conversion rate to 49% in a matter of 4 weeks. Now, anyone who's quick at math can tell me, what did that do to his business? Tripled the business. We had to cut back his advertising because he couldn't handle triple the business straight away. Think about these sorts of things. What did it do to his acquisition cost? Dramatically reduced it. So all we want to do here is 10% better, okay? So 25%, what's it now? Sorry, not 35, sorry, 10% better, so 2.5% more. So in this case, 27.5. Okay, I've already done the math. That gives you 1,210 customers. Then we're going to work on your repeat business. The average business's repeat business is woeful. How many of you have a database of every single one of your past customers, their names, addresses, phone numbers, emails? Who has that? Hands right up high. Keep it up if you write back to them and ask them to buy from you at least every 2 months, at least every 60 days. Woohoo! Those of you who don't have a database, you've just thrown away your best asset. You spend all that money buying those customers, you don't even get their name and address. It's crazy, isn't it? Those of you who do have the database and aren't writing back to them, massive room for improvement. And those of you who are writing back to them, can we tweak it, refine it, and get it working better? Yes or no? You know, all this sort of stuff that we can do. The repeat business blows my mind how fast it is. If you want to get 10% improvement there, all you've got to do is ask people to come back. Would that thank you letter be a great starting point? Yes or no? Simple as that. It's not rocket science, this stuff, but it is a process. You're so busy cutting hair or doing whatever your business does that you're not doing this stuff. I don't want you cutting hair anymore. I want you running the business. So in this case, you know, we try and get people back more often. I had a smart aleck up in Pittsburgh the other week who says to me, Brad, we can't possibly get our customers back more often. I said, oh, really? Why not? He said, we run a funeral home. Smart aleck. I coached him though. I said, oh really? Who's the customer again? I said, is the dead person the customer or their family? I said, oh, their family. I said, good, keep in touch. They'll probably die one day. I had a realtor argue this point with me the other week. He said, but Brad, in real estate, people only buy a new home every 7 years. I said, really? So I'm asking you to write to these people at the very minimum once every 90 days, 4 times a year. What's it going to cost to write a letter, print it, post it and send it to someone 4 times a year? Say it's £1 each time. Let's over-exaggerate. So it's £4 to do that to that customer. So every 7 years, that's £28. Is that pretty good acquisition cost to get someone to come back and buy from you again? Yes or no? Is that better than the billboards they put up with their ugly freaking heads on there going? Blows my mind, especially, I love real estate agents and you go and see them and they've got their business card and you look at the picture and you look at them and you go, 20 years, eh? Photoshop's a damn good thing. So in this case, we go from 2 to what? 10% better? 2.2. In this case, we're going to do 100. We're going to aim at 10% improvement. How many of you would like to have a 10% improvement in your average dollar sale starting tomorrow? First thing tomorrow, your average sale goes up by 10%. Who'd like that? Say yeah? Excellent. Here's what you do. Write this down. Do it word for word. I don't want you to mess this up. Raise all prices by 10%. How many of you have had me or one of my coaches tell you to do that and actually went and did it? Who's had us do it and you went and did it? Hands right up. I just want to see. Keep your hands up. What happened when you did it? Made 10% more. Did people complain? Did they notice? Did anyone really notice? Where's the other hands? I want to see. What happened? What happened? See, you guys, the most scared person in the world at raising a price in a business? The owner. 95% of your customers will not worry about the price. You listen to the 5% that do. That 5% would bitch and moan no matter what your prices were. Raise your prices by 10%. See, all these simple strategies, we have literally, we have 83 strategies for conversion rates that my coaches use with you. 68 for transactions, 59 for average sale, 58 for average sale and 59 for margins. When we go into a business, we've got all of these tools to be able to help you grow your business. So average dollar sale. McDonald's taught you this one. You drive through, you buy a burger, what do they say? Like fries with that. 3 out of 10 people say yes. Worldwide, McDonald's serves 50-odd million people a day. 3 out of 10 say yes to an extra dollar, pound, euro, whatever it is. What does that make McDonald's? Their profits. That stupid little question. I work with a group of solicitors and I asked them, would you like fries with that question? And they're sitting there, I don't know, Brad. And I said, in fact, I'll do the test right here in this room right now. Raise your hand if you either don't have a will or the will you have needs updating. Hands up high if you don't have a will or the will you have needs updating. Right up high? Half the room. I just said to the group of lawyers, why wouldn't you ask every single customer, by the way, does your will need updating? One guy took me seriously, added $3 million to his bottom line by that stupid little question. 8-partner firm. All of them started asking every customer. You know, what is your... And this, again, it's not rocket science stuff. So in this case, we go to 110, 10% better. So, of course, what we've done here is improve the revenues by 10%, haven't we? Haven't we? Yes. No. Gotcha. It's 10% times 10% times 10% times 10%. It's a thing called leverage. Remember that? Divide to multiply. $292,820. It's a 46% increase in the revenues. Margins. Where are my accountants again in the room? Accountants, if sales are up by 46%, will the profitability of the business have gone up? Yes or no? At least 10% in most cases, but let's say you even had to use some of the 50-odd strategies. So now we're at 27.5. $80,525.50. 61% improvement in the bottom line. How many of you'd like 61% improvement in your bottom line in the next 12 months? Say yeah? Yeah. In fact, how many of you'd like a bottom line in the next 12 months? Say yeah. See, let me just show you. I'm running a little bit behind schedule, but I'm going to do it anyway. I want to show you why I do this with companies. I buy companies because I have capital and knowledge. Can I do it a bit faster than what I do it with your business when I'm fixing your business? Yes or no? I can put all the money in to buy the customers, the machinery, whatever it needs to be, and so therefore I can improve the business. So when I buy a business, the only type of business I buy is ones where I believe I can double these numbers. Some of them I'll do more than double, others will be a little less, but on average I want to double the numbers. So call them out for me. What's 4,000 become when I'm doubling it? Come on everyone, what is it? 25% when I double it. Everybody, what is it? 50%. 1,000 when I'm doubling. What is it? Gotcha. Equals 8,000 by 50% is 4,000. 2 becomes? Yeah, it's not a trick one this time. 100 becomes? If you've seen this done before or read my books, don't call it out. If you haven't, try and work out what's the new revenues of that business. What do you think it is? 3.2 million. At that rate, we can leave the margins the same. They'll go up, but do you understand why you have to learn this stuff, not just want to learn it or think you should? You have to. This is how you grow businesses. There's no use owning a business and being a good hairdresser and not being a good business person. This is what business people do every day. This stuff. Multiply the bottom line. Don't just add to it.